All right. If you've been on social media, Reddit, the internet this week, you've probably seen a lot of panic about green cards. Let's slow down, take a deep breath, and let me walk you through exactly what happened, put it in context, and tell you what you actually need to know. First, some context about what actually is at stake. You see, over the last 9 years, more than 9 million green cards were issued in the United States. And of those, roughly 4.9 million, about 54%, were granted through a process called the Adjustment of Status, or AOS, or filing the Form I-485. Now, the Adjustment of Status is the pathway that lets immigrants already living in the US apply for legal permanent residency, or green card, without leaving the country. And it exists because the realities of life are complicated. People come here on work visas, fall in love, get married, build careers, have children who are born American citizens. They put down roots. Now, consular processing, the alternative, this requires leaving the US and applying from your home country. And for somebody who has lived here for years or decades, this isn't a technicality. It can mean real and serious disruption. Look at who uses adjustment of status. 62% of employment-based green cards. The engineers, nurses, researchers, skilled workers powering American industry, they go through adjustment of status. Nearly half of all green cards for immediate relatives of US citizens, spouses, parents, children, they're also processed this way. And 100% of refugees and asylum seekers adjust status from inside the United States, because for them, leaving isn't an option. So when USCIS made an announcement that seemed to threaten this pathway, the reaction was immediate and understandable. On May 22nd, USCIS published this news release and also an official policy memorandum, PM-602-0199. And this memorandum stated that adjustment of status is, in their words, quote, a matter of discretion and administrative grace. See, the memo reminded officers that approving a green card from inside the US has never been automatic. Officers have always had the authority to weigh each application individually. You can read the full memo directly on the USCIS website. Now, the original news release suggested that adjustment of status would only be granted in extraordinary circumstances, language that implied most applicants would need to leave and go through consular processing instead. That wording, as you can imagine, alarmed immigration attorneys, business groups, and anybody going through the process right now. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce raised concerns about high-skilled foreign workers. Legal experts debated how to even challenge the policy given how vague the original language was. And also, many USCIS officers themselves who were conducting interviews last week were also reportedly just as confused as applicants. By Friday, a few days ago, May 30th, the Department of Homeland Security walked it back. According to a New York Times report, a DHS spokesperson confirmed that, quote, this was just a reminder to officers of their discretionary authority, which has always existed on a case-by-case basis, end quote. So here's where things stand today. Adjustment of status is still open. USCIS is still accepting and processing applications. Field offices are still conducting interviews and cases are still being approved. So what's changing is the level of scrutiny. What the memo does signal is that officers may look more carefully at cases, particularly applicants who overstayed visas, violated the terms of their status, or who legitimately could have pursued consular processing but didn't. The memo names those situations as adverse factors in an officer's review. We want to be straight with you. The full picture isn't clear yet. USCIS is expected to issue more specific guidance in the coming weeks. When they made a similar move in 2025, reminding officers to more strictly apply the good moral character standard for citizenship applications, it took several weeks before the specifics on the impacts became clear. We're expecting a similar timeline here. So what should you do now? Keep working on your application as planned, unless a licensed immigration attorney advises you otherwise. Be skeptical of what you read on Reddit or social media. And if your situation involves any complexity, an overstay, a gap in status, a criminal record, or anything else, please don't do this on your own. Get help before making any decisions. SimpleCitizen is here to help. We'll continue giving updates as new guidance arrives. At SimpleCitizen, we've been working around the clock since this announcement dropped, tracking every development, consulting with our partner attorney network, and publishing in-depth articles, guides, tools designed to help you understand exactly where you stand and what you can do. Follow us for updates as this continues to develop. Visit simplecitizen.com for the full picture. Remember, we're happy you're here and we've got your back.